Welcome to my final video on Group A. This is going to be Group A, the final prediction. We'll go through all the games and I'll tell you what I think will be the end result and who will go through in the end. Now, we'll start of course with the opening game on the 11th, South Africa against Mexico. I think that's going to be 1-1. It's going to be 1-1 because South Africa has trouble scoring, so they won't score a lot of goals. Mexico, however, have scored a goal in every preparation game they've played, and they've played a lot of preparation games. Mexico, I think, are generally the better team, but South Africa, with the home crowd against it, especially in the opening game, they're going to be so motivated, so excited. I think they're going to outperform them, but still, Mexico is able to handle South Africa, so it's going to even out quite nicely at a draw. It's going to be 1-1. You heard it here first. Okay, then that same evening, we'll go to the second game, is Uruguay against France. Now, I actually think that's going to be pretty much a copy of the game in 2002, 8 years ago, where they also played in the group phase, and back then it was 0-0. I'm thinking it's quite likely that it'll be 0-0 again. France really has trouble scoring, and we know Uruguay can defend. Uruguay is good up front, but then again, France has some excellent defenders as well. So I'm thinking Uruguay is going to sit back and defend and hope for a good counterattack. But the French defense will probably hold them. But then again, France will push forward, but I don't think they're going to be able to score. So there we go, Uruguay-France, 0-0. All right, let's get to do the second games. First, we have South Africa against Uruguay on the 16th. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say South Africa is gonna overperform, overachieve, and it's gonna win 1-0. Yeah. Uruguay is going to come out of his shell a little bit more as against France, but South Africa was probably going to push forward, and I think they'll probably beat them, probably a goal out of a corner kick or something like that. They'll beat them 1-0. They'll hold on. They'll keep the clean sheet, which is going to be a very decisive win for South Africa, of course. And then France against Mexico. This, I think, will be another decisive game. It's the next day, on the 17th. I think France will lose against Mexico. It will be 2-1 to Mexico. Mexico is quite strong going forward, and France has problems dictating play and then creating chances. So I think that Mexico will be able to handle France, and Mexico's going to win that game 2-1. Okay, so now going into the final games, you got Mexico on 4 points, South Africa on 4 points, and Uruguay and France both on 1 point. Now this means coming into the final game that both France and Uruguay need to win, and they need to win to have a chance of going through. Well, let's see. Both games are on the 22nd at the same time, of course. And Mexico is going to play Uruguay. And I think Mexico-Uruguay is going to be a win for Mexico. Mexico's going to win it, and they'll win it, I think, 2-1. Again, yeah, they'll win it 2-1. Uruguay will be able to score. They're going to give it everything they got. But I think Mexico is the better team. And they're going to win 2-1, which means Mexico is going to end up with 7 points out of this group. And then France against South Africa is going to be a draw. It's going to be 1-1. South Africa is going to go for it. France is going to go for it, but South Africa will hold on. And South Africa is going to surprise a lot of people by actually surviving this group. So I got Mexico winning this group 7 points. South Africa coming in second with 5 points, 1 win, 2 draws. France getting 2 draws and 1 loss. 2 points, coming in third. Uruguay, unfortunately, 1 draw and 2 narrow losses. They're gonna come in fourth with 1 point. I must say I think this is probably the toughest group to predict. If you've watched my analysis of each team, You know, if I really think that South Africa can surprise people, but only because they're the host nation. Otherwise, they would have been in fourth place in this group. And in any other country where the World Cup would have been held, they would have been fourth. France, in terms of scale, they should be number one. But the way they've been struggling, and in qualifying and in friendlies, and also in tournaments, I think they're going to struggle again, and they're not going to make it. And Uruguay, yeah, they're a decent team, but they're not a brilliant team. I think if the other teams play at their level, Uruguay is not going to be able to outperform them and beat them. But yeah, if France can get their stuff together, they could pull it off. If the other teams underperform, Uruguay could sneak through. But yeah, my first hunch is, well, it's not really a hunch. Based on my analysis, I would say I think Mexico will win the group for South Africa, then France, and then Uruguay. Alright, that's it for my final prediction. If you think something else, be sure to leave a comment. And next up is Group B. So we're going to be checking out those teams. Be sure to check out those videos. Alright, thank you.